Let's look in more detail at how flows are implemented in the DocRouter. There's two reasons to use flows. One is you may have complicated documents that you need to process that need to be processed in multiple steps and possibly calling the language model several times per page or at multiple levels. Generally, if you have a document that is complicated enough that cannot be processed in one shot, you will probably need a workflow to process it. The second reason is you might want to get your documents directly from a third-party application like Google Gmail or Google Drive or Microsoft Outlook. And we're adding more connectors as we go along, connect to multiple types of applications. So you can ingest the documents and retrieve the results through REST APIs or through these types of connectors that we're adding continuously. What are these workflows? Well, at this point, multiple architectures for workflows are available in the market. There's Zapier, which is very well known, NA10, which is great, Make.com, Node-RED, Pipedream. We chose to implement internally workflows. These external workflow tools can also be used to connect the DocRouter, and some of them have built-in connectors for DocRouter, so you don't need to call REST APIs, you can just call the high-level connector there. But basically, the workflow implementation is very similar to these other types of implementations. You have a trigger, and in this example, the document event trigger is triggered when document with the surgery pre-op schedule tag is uploaded. The trigger could also come when the LLM is completed, in which case the trigger would have access to the initial extraction of the LLM. There's a way to split documents per page. So this results in one large document with possibly hundreds of pages being split into multiple items and processed one at a time. There's a run OCR node where you can select the type of OCR that you want to run, and these are the OCRs we support. There's a run LLM node where we can select one of the prompts in the system to run on the input document. There's a code block where you can get quite fancy processing results and basically adapting the result and deciding if the human is setting a flag for the human to be brought in the loop. And such an example flag actually we are using in our example surgery schedule packet. We have this human review flag, which in this case is set to 0, so human review is not needed for this particular processing. But in a workflow, we can further dispatch on the human review to actually truly bring, say, maybe post a message to Slack and have a user actually review this instance. And you can use, for example, a branch type node to decide what to do for human in the loop type flags. And you also have, obviously, nodes like, let's say, HTTP nodes where you can post a result or you can get a result. The HTTP request is a generalized node that can be used to connect to anything, because the trigger could be triggered through a webhook, and at the end of the flow, the webhook could return the result of the last node. Let's see if we can find an example of this trigger here. Where is my webhook trigger? Okay, so this is going to give you the webhook URL and how to respond, whether immediately or respond when the last node is finished. Credentials are supported also. I won't go in detail here. You can create any type of the supported credentials. The executions are logged. That's pretty much it. I'll put in the description a pointer to a blog post describing more detail how flows work. Thank you very much.